Greetings all. My name is David Koehn, the founder of the Batchery and one of the many investor advisors who worked as hands-on mentor with our startups throughout the Batch 13 experience. Today, we are here to meet, learn about, and celebrate the hardworking founders who have completed the Batchery program and emerged ready to pitch at our 13th demo day. The Batchery is an accelerator founded and led by a network of more than 35 business leaders, entrepreneurs, operators, and venture capitalists. Twice a year, we bring together promising startups and provide online courses, roundtables, workshops, and most importantly, the one-on-one mentorship for each of our founders. So today it is our pleasure to feature those dozen-plus startups who have completed the Batchery's 3-month virtual residency and emerged ready to pitch. Each startup will be introduced by one of the investor advisors who worked closely with them through the course of the program. And I also want to thank Philo, who's hosting our program today. Here in the main room, you'll see that we have our demo day live stream. And below the stream, you can navigate to a different room for each of the startups we're featuring. These locked rooms during our main presentation will open up right after the pitches conclude. After the pitches, in each room, you will find the founding teams and their decks. You can get to know them, ask questions, and book follow-up meetings. You should also see a link that connects to a form right below this live stream. And through that form, we'll make sure you get connected to the right people. Finally, if you're curious about joining the Batchery community, and we continue to grow year over year, we welcome your interest. Please indicate that we should contact you via the Batch 13 Demo Day interest sheet if you'd like to join the network. Thanks for being here and enjoy the pitches.
Good day, everybody. My name is Niels Fache. I'm one of the longtime Batchery investor advisors. I'm delighted to introduce you to Gary van Nuffelen of Mantis Robotics. Mantis is developing next-generation industrial robots that are as easy to use as a smartphone app, much faster to deploy, and considerably more productive. By making robotic automation more affordable and accessible, Mantis will open up new market opportunities where automation is currently too expensive and not practical. Gary and his team have a unique track record and deep technology know-how as they have successfully designed and marketed all types of industrial robots, including an industry-leading cobot. The team is making great progress with LOIs from prospective customers and beta units to be built in the coming months. So please join me in welcoming Gary.
Hi, I'm Gary van Nuffelen, co-founder and CEO of Mantis Robotics. We build the fastest and safest industrial robots to make the automation of factories and warehouses affordable. Before we dig into that, let me start off by introducing you to our founding team. PJ, Sammy, Shinye, and of course myself. We are the core team that previously built and commercialized the current #2 collaborative robot in the market. We generated over $200 million in the first 2 years. So let me ask you this. What causes a very experienced team like ours with mortgages, responsibilities, to quit their highly paid, secure jobs at a leading industrial robot maker? Well, the vision of Mantis Robotics does, because despite the success that we had with cobots, we realized that we were still unable to viably automate the vast majority of manual tasks. So we created Mantis Robotics. What is the problem that we address? Well, today's industrial robots, whether they are the traditional robots that need to be put behind a fence for safety, or the newer collaborative robots or cobots, which have some integrated safety features, they're all built on archaic technology. They take weeks or months to deploy, or they're too slow. As a result, most manual tasks in factories and warehouses still cannot be automated economically. To draw the parallel with the history of computing, traditional robots are your punch card computers, massively complicated and expensive to deploy. Cobots are like the very first personal computer. Everyone's jumping up and down because they finally have something simpler, something more compact, but they are so slow. And that is why we bring you the iPhone of robotics, an entirely new generation of robots that's 6 times faster than today's cobots and can be deployed in hours. They are literally almost as easy to use as an iPhone. Let's talk about the underlying technology, which all centers around safety. First of all, our Easy Safe technology allows robots to work safely in close proximity with people. We designed the first robot with built-in tactile sensing so that the robot can literally sense what's going on around it, and combine that with the first adaptive robot safety controller that takes all that sensing data and then uses it to safely adjust the motion of the robot to actively avoid people and objects, all in real time, of course. Now, to make sure that anyone can deploy our robots, we've also built the first graphical robot deployment software that is completely code-free. And that's what makes our robots as easy to use as a smartphone, cutting the programming time from months or weeks to hours. Now, what we'll be selling is a complete Mantis robot system that consists of a robot arm with sensors integrated, our Easy Safe robot controller, and our intuitive code-free deployment software. We're targeting a $30,000 to $40,000 sales price depending on the region, which could also be fitted into a robot as a service model instead. And then we have application software add-ons starting at $1,200 per user per year. In terms of applications, our fenceless robots can be used for many applications in manufacturing and warehouse fulfillment across industries. But the first application we'll be focusing on is kitting. Kitting is basically bundling a bunch of products together, and more than 90% of kitting today is done manually. There's over 250,000 workers doing kitting every single day. To give this some more color, Wise Labs in Seattle, they do consumer electronics, they ran the numbers. Having workers do kitting translates to an annual cost of $54,000 per workstation. Automating that would cost almost twice that at $90,000 per year, and the robot system would use 4 times more floor space than a manual station. So guess what? They wanted to automate because they can find workers, but it simply doesn't make economical sense. Our robot system, on the other hand, can do it for about $23,000 per year. And this is a typical example of how Mantis Robotics completely changes the equation. The total market opportunity for our robots is more than $12 billion. And this consists of an entirely new market for tasks that currently can be viably automated, the biggest one being kitting. And then in the next step, we can absorb all the current cobot applications because we can do everything cobots can do, only much faster and safer. Our SAM would realistically come in at around 6 to 8 billion with a SOM of 200 million within 5 years, which is laid out in our financial plan. How are we going to sell that? Well, we have a strong network of value-add distributors and system integrators to sell our robots and to help our users deploy them. Traditional robots require a lot of training and also support from the manufacturer, but cobots have paved the way for a fast adoption with almost no training. And our robots are even easier to use. So it's easy to bring on new distribution partners and ramp up very, very quickly. And we have done this before. Of course, there's other companies working to improve the productivity of these fenceless robots, but they sacrifice flexibility, they sacrifice speed of deployment, and they increase the overall cost. So at the end of the day, they're not making it more affordable to automate. Now, one of your first questions may be, why aren't the incumbent robot makers doing this? Because they make their money on the fact that deploying robots is complicated. We tried to pitch it to the incumbent robot companies we worked for, and they said no, because they did not want to cannibalize their cash cow business. That is why we left. That is why we started Mantis Robotics. Now, we've come a long way. We've already proved that our technology works. We have full proof of concept prototype. We've lined up customers with about $240,000 worth of LOIs, and they are awaiting product prototypes. Now, in order to build those prototypes, we're looking for funding. So we are raising $1.2 million in convertible note with preference given to first money in. This will go towards generating that first revenue that we have those LOIs for by putting paid pilot units into customer hands. We are asking for your support to revolutionize industrial robotics by making it more affordable to automate millions of manual tasks. I welcome any questions you may have. Please join us in our breakout room after the presentations. I'm Jerry Van Oefelen, We are Mantis Robotics.
Hi, my name is Martin Otterson. I'm an investor advisor with the Batchery, and I've been here almost 3 years. I'm very excited to work with many different startups. And in Batch 13, I've worked very closely with 24-hour truck services. It's a great platform to match industry mechanics with operators of truck fleets or individual truck operators as well. So say you have a problem on the side of the road. In your hand with this platform, you have a 24-hour concierge, 7 days a week, that can answer your problem when you have it and anticipate and introduce you to a mechanic that's proven and already proven fees as well, so there's no hidden costs. It's a very exciting way to bring these two worlds together, and I'm excited to introduce Aaron Swan from 24-hour Truck Services.
Did you know that 70% of all the goods in the United States are transported by truck? So we're dependent on the long haulers making it to their destination. That means some 15.5 million trucks operating in the US need support on the road where the emergencies happen. 24-hour Truck Services, our mission, will be the first marketplace with a just-in-time solution that connects and automates all services in the heavy-duty ecosystem. And when we talk about ecosystem, we're talking about some 43,000 repair shops with part suppliers and tools that support some 3.5 million truck drivers and some 1.2 million fleets in the United States. And where do we see this opportunity at? We see it with the heavy truck mechanics. Did you know that $12 billion is spent on repairs annually in this industry called the heavy truck? The industry alone, according to IBIS World, is worth some $768 billion. So our solution in connecting all the best service providers in the transportation industry, you can imagine it's a system that can automatically assign the right resources, not just by who's the closest, but who's the best resource with the right skills, with the best track record, and the fastest response time. It's more than just a good idea. In fact, we took the idea and we went to market even before we had any kind of infrastructure. And we just wanted to see small goals. Would someone be willing to enter into our membership program with us? Could we get 10 people to run a transaction and actually pay us to help them? And can we get 10 mechanics to download our app and install it? Well, the results blew us out of the water. We got 8 people to subscribe to our membership. We ran 58 transactions, helping 58 people on the road. And then 224 mechanics downloaded our app and actually crushed our business. We knew we had $1 billion business. And the formula is actually a formula. Think about it. 40,000 mechanics with our app, just getting 8 jobs a month, with each job averaging about $400 per month over 12 months. And you've got $1.5 billion in revenue. Which brings me to the reason why I'm so proud of my team for getting this type of traction for our startup. My COO, Victoria Frederick, she has experience in operational planning for big budget movies. David Clunes, he had his first successful exit in 2016 when he sold his company Encima Group, which is a company that specialized in business analytics and big data, to a New Jersey-based Princeton company called Indegene. Betty Swan retired as a managing director from JP Morgan. She was the 3rd highest grossing salesperson for fixed income sales. And myself and my wife, Dana, represent over 50 years of sales management, sales operations, and customer service experience. So we've put together a solid go-to-market strategy, something that is executable with very low risk. After a successful pilot in 2020 with Allstate, we're launching another pilot with them. We signed the deal last month. It launches November 22nd of this month. for exclusive territories in this new Allstate GM relationship. At the end of the pilot, if we've proven our capability, we have the potential to own up to half of the US territory exclusively for their Jumpstart battery program. So our go-to-market program, our go-to-market efforts are very simple. One, create an MVP of our product. We can check the box on that. Second, get a go-to-market partner that has a strong brand and strong reputation. We can check the box on that. And third, we're going to accelerate the growth of our private mechanic network. I'll share this with you. In my last meeting with Allstate, our executive sponsor kind of said this matter-of-factly. He said, scaling for us is easy. It's as easy as turning a dial. So I think you'll agree, whoever Allstate turns the dial up for is going to win big. And when you think about our solid go-to-market strategy, you have to also think about, right, who our competitors may be. What are the barriers to entry that they might face? Well, here's the good news. If they're not a competitor or if they're not a current vendor of Allstate right now, providing these specific services roadside, Allstate won't even consider them. And did I mention Allstate hasn't even decided who they will use as the platform to manage these vendors and events in the future. So we could own the Jumpstart battery replacement roadside business for Allstate and GM. We could have a network larger than any mechanic network in the entire United States, have a centralized distribution method and a tool ready for the market that can support instant growth. Now, although our competitors are successful, take another close look at the competition. We're raising $750,000 in the form of either a convertible note or a SAFE for up to 10% of our company to be utilized in the next 18 to 24 months. And I'm sure you'll agree, the normal trajectory for a startup is pretty much measured in years. For us, at 24-hour truck services, we can do it in a fraction of the time at a fraction of the cost. And you'll see that our tipping point will be possibly in the next 6 to 8 months. We can take what we're doing and measure it and map it to the milestones that will align with the $750,000 raise. There's only 2 major players in this industry. And interestingly enough, they own less than 5% of the market share. There's actually no substitute to truck repair. This industry is driven by small operators with low to no market share. And in recent years, the growth of onboard computers and electronic systems has bolstered the demand for hybrid and electronic engine maintenance. So for those interested in taking this journey, we have the opportunity to reshape the future of roadside services for the transportation industry. So the simple question is this the type of company you would make an investment in?
Hi, I'm Jeff Wallace, one of the Batchery's investor advisors. And today it is my pleasure to introduce Megan Radebush, founder of keepwith. When Megan first applied to the Batchery, her company was at one of the earlier stages that we consider for admission. However, it was clear to our admissions team that keepwith and Megan had something very special going on. And boy, are we glad we trusted our instincts. At its core, keepwith is a platform that teaches networking and empowers people to build strong relationships that make things happen. As a prolific networker myself, I see tremendous utility for a solution that aggregates the clutter of my contacts, cuts down the noise, and helps me focus on my strategic networking goals and relationship building. And Megan is uniquely positioned to help people do this, with an amazing background in professional networking herself. She has assembled an amazing team around her, and they have been enjoying a lot of early success, even before launch. Here to tell you more about it is Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan Burke-Radebush. I'm the founder and CEO of keepwith. Keepwith is a platform that teaches networking. We are transitioning from a B2B services company, teaching networking to companies, organizations, and at virtual and in-person conferences around the globe, to an enterprise serving SaaS platform, scaling to help the world network better at a time when human isolation is at its peak. In the future, keepwith will be available B2C. At this time, we have a fully clickable prototype. Keepwith, the application, is due out in beta in April 2022, with full release in May 22 and a V2 slated for June and July of 2022. Our technology is a customized interactive solution designed to help people around the world build stronger, more meaningful, and authentic networking relationships. Our solution is available in iOS, Android, and web interfaces. A brief demo is included in this video. A provisional patent has been filed. Imagine a CRM-esque cupcake with your customized strategic networking goals overlaid as the icing. Empowered by AI, the icing and cupcake interact to support your overall strategic relationship building activities. That is, our application will help you to network better. We are currently raising a convertible note seed round, and due to unique circumstances, are in a position to raise our Series A round in Q2 of 2022. The terms of the note are as follows. It's a $750,000 note with 8% annual interest, a 15% discount, and no valuation cap. We have currently raised $1.1 million, but given the level of interest and where we are headed, the round is absolutely still open for additional investors. Please contact me at megan@keepwith.com if you are interested in participating in the round. We are excited to speak with you about Keepwith at Demo Day and are grateful to the Batchery for this opportunity. We know 3 things to be true. Right now, the world is experiencing human isolation at unprecedented levels. Contact information for your people, that is the people who comprise your network, is all over the place, in your phone, in your work email, in your personal email, and your social media channels. Keepwith solution is going to bring all your people that you know into one place. And 3, networking, that is strategic relationship building, is hard. And the good news is that Keepwith can help. Here's a little bit about me as a founder. I grew up in New York City in this apartment building and was a voracious reader as a kid. In a lot of ways, I was like Matilda from the Roald Dahl stories. At 8 years old, I became a kid reporter for the Children's Express news service. And from age 8 to age 18, I was a kid reporter and editor. As a kid journalist, I learned the importance of asking open-ended questions and caring about the world around me, 2 essential ingredients when it comes to networking well. Here's a bit about our team. In addition to our team members, we also have an advisory board, each who brings his or her own expertise to the table. We are also prioritizing some key hires, a sales and marketing lead, an IT lead, and a product lead. Jen Steinberg is our head of ops, and Kathleen Baxley is our fractional CFO. Though he is on the advisory board, Alan Deach at Spot Hero does play the role of technical co-founder. The last 7 weeks have brought unprecedented traction on the fundraising, product, and business development fronts. As such, I have leveraged my networking superpowers to surround myself with a circle of key experts who are advising me on legal, governance, financial, tech, investor relations, and PR matters. I meet weekly with this group in what we call our weekly Ocean's 11 style meeting. The problem is that networking is hard. Keepwith is the solution. Here's a bit about our business model. We started off doing one and done speaking engagements around the globe at corporations, organizations, and law firms. We've now transitioned to year-long engagements where we're instilling cultures of networking into corporations around the globe. And of course, we're scaling by building the technology that we're here to talk about today. Here's a little bit about our customers. Our content applies across industry, sector, seniority level, gender, and geography. We really enjoy the fact that we have a diverse client base in terms of industry and sector. Here's the product. Keepwith is offering a holistic solution to managing your relationships. We bring your whole network into one tool, and we sharpen your networking strategy with networking goals. The beta release, as we mentioned, is in April with live launch in May, and the V2 release in July and August. There's also a content library that includes information on networking strategy, key relationships, and advice and education. Why enterprises hire us is really broken into 4 buckets. Sales teams need to network well. We're amidst the great resignation. Talent acquisition and retention has never been more important, and networking plays a key part. DEI and business resource groups provide opportunities to network without the information about how, and employee wellness and combating silos. We will now do a quick demo of the Keepwith networking app. This is the Keepwith app. You can see that it has an interface. The mobile version has an interface with our proprietary spheres of influence content, the profile, the guts of the app, which are the strategic networking plan, and a content library when it comes to providing key content on networking topics. We couldn't be more excited to be releasing this technology into the world. Everyone asks how we will scale. The answer to that question is clear through our app, our strategic partnerships, people strategy, content licensing, and networking as wellness. When you're thinking about the market opportunity, every company, organization, and virtual and in-person conference worldwide needs its people to network better. That said, we're focused on the places where we've gotten most traction, working on enterprises that have a global reach and are focused on professional services. Here are some key milestones. Fundraising update. As we mentioned, we've raised our seed round and are continuing to take seed round investors, and we're targeting our Series A for Q2 of 2022. Here's how we will use the funds. Here's what we are doing with our Series A. Fund details will be available in Q2 of 22. Here's how you can reach us. As we test our beta app, create our beta test group for our app, it is our goal to have it be as applicable to as many people as possible, regardless of socioeconomics, location, age, and ability. We are looking to create a truly inclusive beta test group so that anybody who picks up the tool is able to strongly build relationships with others. Here are some of our pie in the sky goals. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing from you.
Good morning. My name is Andre Carothers. I'm an investor and an advisor at the Batchery. I am delighted this morning to introduce to you Enes Sen and his company, Counesel Hero. Like many founders, Enes has had professional experience that drove him to start a company. He was a career counselor, and so he had direct line of sight into the difference it makes for students to get really good, focused, one-on-one advice on how to launch their careers. And he knows from direct experience the challenges that educational institutions face in deploying a service that can transform a student's life. And finally, as a successful serial entrepreneur, he knows how to build a company. So let's make welcome Enes Sen and Counesel Hero.
Are you one of the ones who are lucky enough to do what you love or what you are good at as a profession in your life? There are a lot of people who feels the opposite. One of the biggest reasons of this problem is not to provide proper career counseling in the decision-making process. According to National Center for Educational Statistics, we can only provide one school counselor per 424 students in our country. While volunteering at a nonprofit as a youth mentor, I said, what if we create a digital environment that can help our students to discover, pursue, and achieve a career path on their own? What if we give them one digital career counselor per one student? That day, we started building Counesel Hero. In our system, students can discover their inner qualities with a set of assessment tests that we have. And then our career matching algorithm matches the qualities of the students with different career options. And our system shows them the footsteps and career options, educational options that students can pursue. In the US, there are around 60 million K-12 students that is waiting for our product. And we are projecting a $1.5 billion revenue, which is our serviceable, obtainable market, if we can cover the whole market. We made a market analysis based on the simplicity and decision-making mechanism and the amount of resources that the schools have. And the analysis showed us charter schools and private schools are the first target market for us. And private schools and charter schools is making the 40% of the high school market in the US. According to our go-to-market strategy, We use distributors and referrals to reach out different schools and districts. We share 20% of our revenue if the referral school or district accepts using our product. So far, we have 9 distributors and 9 individual distributors and 2 organizational distributors that we signed contract with. We are also building a community of school counselors via our School Counselor Karaoke podcast, National School Counseling Week Convention, and our weekly meetups and workshops. We also directly reach out schools and districts that is targeting their decision makers. So far, we closed 3 deals with them. Our business model has 2 different layers. First, schools or districts pay a yearly fee of $25 per student that is using our system. And schools and districts can choose different service options within our a la carte services menu. There are a bunch of startups that are giving information about different careers and enabling school counselors to interact with their students. But Counsel Hero is the only tool that is showing the footsteps for future career options. We have a diverse background, international remote team that is building our product. We have 8 members of technical team, half of them full-time, half of them part-time, that is managed by my co-founder and CTO, which is senior full-stack developer, Min. We also have a combined experience of 50 plus years experience counseling team where we discuss the features of our product. And our team is managed by my co-founder, Shamoun Ebrahimi, who is at 12 years of high school counseling experience. We also have our sales and marketing team that spread our word, which is managed by Hussein Koja, who's a digital marketing specialist. I myself am a 4-time entrepreneur with 2 failures and an early stage exit at Magnemind Academy. We also have an advisory board coming from different tech product backgrounds and educational positions. We recently have beaten our October 2021 milestone with the 3 organizations using our product. And we are also in contact with different school groups, and 2 of the school groups that has 24 different schools in total are really close to finalize the deal with us. With these deals, we are projecting to beat our mid-2022 milestone. And with the first 30 schools that is using our system, we are projecting to reach our $750,000 annual recurring revenue at the end of 2023. Currently, we are raising our first part of our seed round with the $400,000 that we are looking for. We offer $4 million cap and 20% discount to our early stage investors. And so far, we have $50,000 of this amount committed. With this amount, we are planning to use it for 12 months. And within this time frame, we are planning to reach out our first 30 different paying schools. And also, we are planning to launch our Counsel Hero for primary and middle schools versions, our mobile application, which will also make a huge difference in the market, and Counsel Hero 2.0 with the new features. Every student is a world, and Counsel Hero is the tool to discover this world. We are changing the way school counseling, career counseling is done in our school system. Come and be a part of this change with us. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Kal Deutsch, and I'm one of the founding investor advisors at the Batchery. Today, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce SteamChain, a global fintech company that lowers the cost of payment processing for global supply chain companies. SteamChain serves companies in the multi-trillion-dollar international supply chain industry, typically operating on razor-thin profit margins. Because the currency fluctuation and conversion pose
risks to these companies' bottom line, SteamChain has developed a solution that uses smart transaction contracts to enable B2B payment processing, thereby reducing the high costs and simplifying document flow. Co-founders Dan and Scott bring extensive professional backgrounds to the table, and SteamChain is already validating its solutions with its first clients. Please join me in welcoming Dan and Scott.
SteamChain has solved the problem of high international currency conversion costs and currency fluctuation risks in the $13.5 trillion supply chain. Not only have we addressed this problem, we have simplified the process with our user-controlled platform that lets companies realize a reduction of up to 80% of these costs while saving days in processing and settlement when they're making payments or receiving payments from more than 200 countries in their local currency. Now, the global supply chain is costly, complex, and companies operate on incredibly low margins. Starting with manufacturing and following the supply chain all the way to the final destination, at every stage, payments are made in a variety of currencies that fluctuate against each other and the US dollar. There are tens of thousands of companies initiating payments every day, and we can save each of these companies significant money. So here's the market problem. Currency conversion is expensive, costing anywhere from 5 to 11% or more, and that's according to a study by the World Bank. Fluctuation risk can lower the bottom line, and that's according to a survey by HSBC of CFOs and treasurers. Maersk and IBM estimate that 20% of the cost of international shipping is related to antiquated paper processes. Bottom line here, the international payment system is ready for disruption. Here's what we do. We've created a simple solution where clients create their own smart payment transactions, and our platform executes these payments in the currency of their choice. We've got two models on our platform. The first leverages 8 global digital asset exchanges. The transfer of the money takes less than 60 seconds, and the settlement process takes less than a couple of hours. The second is the FX model. Now, with the FX model, the process on our platform is exactly the same. But behind the scenes, our partner, Cambridge FX, which is part of FleetCor, a $22 billion company traded on the New York Stock Exchange, processes the currency conversions and executes the payments. Our secret sauce is the patent-pending innovations that power our platform that span multiple technology areas, including smart contract currency conversion, transactional artificial intelligence, trusted execution environment, and international shipping and logistics. Our solution is cost-effective. We charge 1.5% per transaction, as opposed to the much higher rates companies currently pay. Our fee is paid at the time of the transaction, which makes us a cash business. We have multiple benefits. Our clients are realizing average cost savings of up to 70% versus their previous providers. Clients are saving on average of 5 days in the transaction process, and they have access to more than 150 global currencies serving more than 200 countries.
Our total addressable market is over $13 trillion. And if you look at the bullseye, we're initially targeting a $13.5 billion market share opportunity, focusing on supply chain solutions providers, logistics providers, and the global industrial products sector. We have billion-dollar clients using our platform, and one example of that is OIA Global, a logistics provider that has 29 international offices. They're currently using our platform to fund their overseas operating costs, and we're saving them over 70% versus what they were previously paying. And there are thousands of these type of logistics companies in this vertical around the world. We are in revenue, and we have successfully processed over $1.65 million in transactions through our platform with a wide variety of global customers. We're continuing to ramp and averaging 20% growth month over month. We have more than 30 potential customers in our sales pipeline, and we plan to grow our business through direct sales as well as channel partners that we've established in the shipping, logistics, and consumer product sectors. Financial institutions are our major competitors. However, other payment providers are integrated with financial institutions, which translates to them carrying the high overhead cost of the banks. Therefore, the biggest differentiator is that SteamChain is decoupled from the banks, and most importantly, our fees are dramatically lower than the competition. So simply put, our solution is cheaper, faster, smarter, and much more efficient than the competition. We are first to market with a user-controlled exchange platform, and we filed 4 provisional patents valued by a third party at 2.8 million. We have strategies in place to strengthen our barriers by enhancing the platform, growing our partnerships, and increasing our customer base.
We have strong partnerships with private and public sector organizations. We are working with the U.S. Department of Commerce and Trade and the Japan External Trade Organization, and with customers in a variety of sectors. We've received investments from funds here in the United States and overseas. Our technology partners are deep and experienced. We're adding a biometric security overlay to our platform with Typhone, who provides this service to Homeland Security here in the U.S. Our team has extensive management experience ranging from global supply chain and logistics to technology and financial risk management. We are all dedicated to simplifying the existing problem of a complex and costly payment system. We're looking to hire a chief revenue officer who will focus on sales and marketing, which will accelerate our growth once we receive additional investment. There are a number of potential acquirers that have an active track record of acquisitions in our space, many of which we've already been in discussions with on a partnership basis. And they've told us that it's easier and faster for them to partner with a nimble provider versus developing a similar capability internally. So in summary, by providing a great value to our customers, we're going to be able to provide a great value to our shareholders. We're looking to close out our early round. We've raised $610,000 towards our $750,000 goal. We're offering a convertible note carrying 8% interest with a 20% discount and a cap of $5 million. The funds are going to be used for business development and technology enhancements. And I want to thank you for considering SteamChain as an investment opportunity.
Hi all, I'm Greg Luethe, a recent addition to the team of investor advisors at the Batchery, and I'd like to introduce you to one of the founders I've been working with through Batch 13, Eric Thompson of Windscape AI. Windscape AI is a clean energy tech company that uses SaaS to improve wind farm ROI with real-time alerts using a combination of AI and cost-effective sensors. Eric has a deep understanding of this domain through his years of senior leadership in the industry and has been making exciting progress through his time at Batchery. Please join me in welcoming Eric to the stage.
Hi, I'm Eric Thompson, and I'm really excited to tell you about Windscape AI. Our purpose is to deliver real improvements to wind farm operations and help grow the wind industry. So imagine you are the operator of a 100 megawatt wind farm with $12 million in electricity revenue a year, with costs and debt service close to that number, so you have tight margins. Our job is to squeak out every dollar from 4 dozen multi-million-dollar wind machines out on the landscape. You know, unexpected gusts, damaged blades and gearboxes, and settings determine your energy capture and revenue. And yet, those machines sit there and wait for gusts to smash into blades and add up damage to blades and gearboxes and towers. What our industry has needed for a long time is a system that knows about the wind ahead of time, so your control system can make those adjustments ahead of the wind for more energy and longer life. Enter Windscape. We distribute very low-cost sensors in the field around wind farms and use AI to process the signals from those sensors to provide 10 to 60-second warnings of gusts and wind changes. With that data, wind farm control systems can increase electricity sales revenue and prolong equipment life. Consider $15,000 in deployment and analysis costs, producing $250,000 of annual benefit. Our AI techniques and sensor boxes are easy to deploy and made with off-the-shelf components and don't require any new R&D. Convergence of AI tools and sensor tech now makes Windscape practical. Widely available edge AI tools help a lot, The sensor boxes are easy to deploy on fence posts. Setup will only take a couple of days, and importantly, we do not touch wind turbines or impact wind farm operations. The wind industry is a big deal for the economy and for the climate. It's now a $100 billion worldwide market that will continue to grow 11% or more a year. The 1,000 wind farms, 65,000 turbines in the US are 1/6 of that world market, generating 16 billion in electricity sales every year. And it's exciting to see 500 million directly for growing wind energy in the infrastructure bill. So, related to that market, our market is defined by 92 billion worldwide in electricity sales, and that part of O&M that Windscape can improve. We can improve that TAM by at least 2% through increased energy revenue and reduced O&M for a serviceable, addressable market of 1.5 billion. We will extract around 30% of the SAM through fees for an obtainable market of 444 million. This is a hardware-enabled SaaS business with setup fees and annual fees. Let's see what we can do for your 100 megawatt wind farm. By adding Windscape as a service, you would see at least 250,000 increased annual revenues at a cost of 13,000 first year setup, then 75,000 annual fees. Windscape's fees are around 30% of the increased customer value. You as the customer see a 1,300% IRR. In 5 years, our sales revenue middle case projection is 155 customers, $12.3 million in gross revenue, having reached just 3% of our market. And that's a 200% year-on-year growth. And I have to say, I think the mid-range is conservative and the high scenario of 27 million gross revenue is doable. We model an 85% gross margin. To date, we've obtained a broad patent on this approach that also covers applications outside wind power. We have successfully completed our proof of concept project at the UC Davis Atmospheric Research Group's meteorological site with a deployed mesh network and data collection system. We have verified AI results, here showing 15-second prediction compared to the actual wind. We have 2 pilots in development with large, well-known wind farm owner-operators. After completing the pilots, we expect to convert them to paying customers while cultivating all those other customers. Going forward, we are excited about opportunities for strategic acquisition and pursuing other markets. Really, the only competition is a technology called Doppler LiDAR. It's been around for a while and has not been able to make a big mark in the field. This is because it's very expensive with high maintenance and installation costs, including the need to drill into the top of turbines and place equipment in the turbine. Doppler LiDAR may be more precise in some applications, but it is constrained to a narrow field of view. Windscape, on the other hand, costs 5 to 10 times less with very low maintenance, and we do not touch or impact the wind farm. I'm CEO. I've launched products at multiple clean tech SaaS and capital equipment businesses, recently as Chief Business Development Officer in the AI for wind farms field. I've been co-founder and/or VP Business Development in multiple clean tech companies, including a wind turbine manufacturer. I hold a BS in Mechanical Engineering from Cornell. Matt Wright, our AI lead, has a UC Berkeley PhD in Mechanical Engineering with a focus in digital science and controls and research position at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. Lane Williams, our hardware lead, has 30 plus years of experience in wireless networking and hardware. On our advisory team, Joe Pasquarello is a longtime colleague and recognized leader in wind farm controls. Products from his company, Fenway Systems, are used in over 7,000 turbines worldwide. Deval Pandya has experience in machine learning and energy and sensor applications. His high-level positions have included Director of Engineering, Team Lead, and Task Force member for organizations like the Vector Institute, Shell, and the UN. He holds a PhD in Mechanical Engineering from University of Texas, Arlington. We are seeking $500,000 in funding. With this, over the next 9 months, we will complete a minimum viable product customer interface, expand our AI tools, the 2 customer pilots, and first commercial contracts. We envision an investment structure of convertible note at 5% interest, 20% discount, and 5 million cap. I look forward to your questions and comments. Thank you very much.
Hello, and thanks again for joining us today. I'm Laura Swan, one of the founding investor advisors working with startups here at the Batchery. I'm excited to introduce you all to Vladimir Koehn, founder of the Overcome the Barrier. Overcome the Barrier is an online Spanish tutoring company where college students teach Spanish to working adults in the US. Overcome the Barrier is built on the premise that the most effective way to learn languages is through personalized learning, visualization, and one-on-one interaction with native speakers. And the results are showing that they are on to something. Over the past year, Vlad has achieved impressive growth in users and revenue and has leveraged his time at the Batchery to build on that success. Please welcome Vlad, who will tell you more about where Overcome the Barrier is going next.
Hello, I'm Vladimir Koehn, the founder of online one-on-one language tutoring company called Overcome the Barrier, where college students teach their native language. We already make $30,000 in monthly revenue. Please meet Valerie and Valentina. Valerie is a 34-year-old nurse living in San Diego, California. She works in a hospital's emergency room and frequently has Spanish-speaking patients who don't speak English. Valentina is a medical student in Argentina who needs to make extra money around her hectic academic schedule. There are 1.2 billion people in the world who are currently learning a foreign language, just like Valerie, and most of them waste their time. Using traditional methods, they take 2 years to reach a level that is so basic it's useless in real life. And there are hundreds of millions of college students, most of whom need extra money to fit in with flexible work schedule. Our platform delivers one-on-one affordable classes with native speaking tutors who are experts in the learner's professional demand so they can teach them relevant vocabulary as well as grammar and pronunciation. During a lesson, our tutors and learners have one-on-one conversation online. While doing this, our tutor types what the learner says into our platform and then makes simple corrections to show the learner how he would have said the same thing. The learner can see the transcript complete with corrections in real time, which boosts confidence and improves adoption. They can always review these transcripts after the lesson, but also do personalized homework automatically generated by our platform based on the corrections made by the tutor. The platform provides tutors with intuitive graphs to show them compelling visual feedback on their progress. Average learners start speaking twice as fast with 20% fewer mistakes compared to alternative learning techniques. Using this system, learners acquire language skills that are useful at their workplace at the price they can afford in the fastest way possible. And similarly, our tutors have rapid path to income on the schedule that suits them. Following just a 2-hour training, all of our tutors are ready to teach students online. And our learners acquire language skills that are relevant to them that improves engagement and retention. It's so easy and effective that we bootstrap to grow 18x in 8 months to reach $32,000 in monthly revenue. Our market is the largest consumer segment in the world. We fall into blended learning, which combines human interaction between tutors and learners with the help of software. It's projected to grow 16% compound annual growth rate in the next 5 years. Our beachhead market is teaching Spanish to working adults in the US using Latin American college students. We project that we will service 500,000 learners with 100,000 tutors by the 7th year, which equates to $200 million in net income revenue and $10 million in net income. We build our platform to support a profitable business model. Our learners choose how many classes they want to take, over what time period, and sign up for automatic monthly subscription. Our pricing allows us to pay our college students more than they can make elsewhere and charge the learners less and still make 75% gross profit margin. which results into $650 customer lifetime value. And with cost of acquisition of $160, our payback period is less than 3 months. We further plan to reduce the cost of acquiring learners thanks to our proven referral program. Our competitors charge $45 to reach $9 in profits. We can achieve that same margin by charging $12 an hour. We will ultimately optimize pricing strategies to enhance perception of value and become the largest player in this market. We are US-based Delaware C Corp. Our team consists of foreigners who know firsthand the problems of learning a foreign language using traditional methods. For example, me. I learned English for 10 years, and when I came to the United States, I realized I couldn't understand anything. And just 6 months later, I was able to pick it up thanks to hanging out with my college students, almost to the same level that I'm able to speak right now. I wish I could have tutored online for double the pay. I'm an ex-Goldman Sachs CPA, and we built a team that consists of specialists in languages, software, and unit economics. We rely on cohort analysis when making decisions based on actionable metrics. Our Russian based engineers are cheaper and better. And because we are foreigners, immigrants, we have to work harder to get our foot in the door. We are raising $250,000 pre-seed safe. We want to improve our platform to reduce churn, improve user experience, and improve lifetime value. Also invest in marketing to scale cost of acquisition while experiment with models to optimize costs and revenues. By the end of the year, we should have 2,500 learners with 500 tutors and monthly revenue of $100,000. At which point, we will raise a seed round from venture capitalists. Some of whom already find us interesting and consider us compelling at $100,000 MRR. We're looking for an investor who shares our vision to help college students to earn living wage while teaching their native language, significantly reduce the cost of online language tutoring, and still give us a healthy profit margin. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to answering your questions in the breakout room.
Hello again, Niels Fache here. It's my pleasure to make one more introduction today. In the past few months, I've had the opportunity to learn more about FilterHealth, a company founded by Sashi Prabhakar. Sashi is passionate about creating a healthier environment with improved air quality. Air quality is highly dependent on air filters. Unfortunately, most of us would agree that filter replacements are on top of mind and are often long overdue. FilterHealth solves this problem with a novel sensor-based management system for HVAC air filters that ensures cleaner indoor air in commercial buildings and homes. With both B2B and B2C applications, FilterHealth offers a common sense solution to an age-old problem. Please welcome Sashi, who will walk us through how he will improve our indoor air quality.
Hello, I'm Shashi Prabhakar, CEO of FilterHealth. Our mission is to ensure healthy indoor air quality with a novel sensor to manage replacement of HVAC air filters in commercial buildings and homes. We are Nest for air filter management. The condition is we spend 90% of our time indoors. Respiratory issues are increasing, and the reason is poor indoor air quality. Dirty air filters hugely impact indoor air quality according to the EPA. And critically, we found that there is a dramatic leakage of dust from dirty air filters around the 75% clog level. So it's really important not to let filters reach these dirty levels. According to a 3M survey, nearly 40% of homeowners do not change filters regularly. Buildings change it early and wastefully. This is because there is no easy or reliable way to check on air filters. I've suffered from allergies most of my life, and neglecting to check
air filter replacement in my new home for several months exacerbated my allergies as well as causing a furnace malfunction. So I set out to find a better way. Why is tracking and changing air filters a pain? Air filters are out of sight and need to be physically accessed to be checked. Schedule or reminder-based changes are non-optimal. Right-sized replacement filters may not be readily available. The current solutions are inadequate. A reminder-based solution is something like a smart thermostat provides you. It's unreliable, low accuracy, and has no tracking. There is a smart filter that 3M introduced a couple of years ago. It's expensive, it's not entirely accurate, and generates electronic waste. AV Tech has an air filter sensor that is inadequate because it needs calibration every time you change the filter and a power supply. And overall, it's not very accurate. Our solution is FilterHealth, a novel patented air clog sensor we invented. It uses direct measurement with human-like judgment for clog determination. It has every advantage that addresses the pain points of changing filters on time easily. Our market is HVAC air installations market, which is $125 million in the US. The smart thermostat market is a good basis for the FilterHealth sensor market. This has an installed base of 13 million units, growing at a rate of 29%, expected to be 37.5 million by 2026. The HVAC air filters market is a good basis for the air filter subscriptions that we plan to offer. This market is worth $10 billion globally and about $2.5 billion in the US alone. Our business model is the classic razor blade model with 100+% margin from one-time sensor unit revenues and 20% margin from recurring revenues on replacement filter subscriptions. Overall, FilterHealth will result in a 25% or more savings in cost and impact on the environment. We address both commercial buildings and apartments from partnerships in a B2B model and homeowners from channel sales in a B2C model. To start with, our focus is the B2B model. Our go-to-market strategy is based on both a homeowner and commercial version of the FilterHealth sensor. We'll enter the B2B market with a partnership with someone like Latch, who are in apartments, builder space, followed by a partnership with someone like JLL for commercial buildings. Channel sales and integrators will come later in our go-to-market strategy. With partnerships and some direct sales, we expect to sell 85K units in year one and more than 1 million units by year 3 for a cumulative revenue of more than $60 million. The 3-year customer LTV for our homeowner version is $49 a unit and $112 a unit for commercial customers. Our team is led by myself, Shashi, with a background in groundbreaking projects and teams. I've worked on the Human Genome Project at Merck and Apple. We are looking for a GTM guru to make a splash in the market. Our advisors are all experts with exits in the hardware product space, from Flip Video to Hackster and Ecovent. We are working with a full range of partners for sensor development, manufacturing, patents, filter subscription. My special thanks to the Batchery Accelerator for providing expertise in honing the skills of founders to build a successful company. We've invested over $100K in product development with money from personal funds and friends and family. FilterHealth can be easily installed in a duct by customers. We are collecting data from a beta test, and a production version is under active development. We are raising $250K in a convertible note with 5% interest and 20% discount and a cap of 5 million. This will enable us to make a full launch and pilot with a partner to launch our production version of a home owner sensor unit and filter subscription service. This raise will give us an 18-month runway to sell 50K units through partnerships. We will reach a revenue of 50+ million by year 3. This is a great time to be in the smart home and IoT market. We will be Nest for Air Filter Management. Join us. Thank you very much.
Hi there, I'm Amitt Mehta, one of the Batchery's newest investment advisors, and I'm excited to introduce you to a startup today in our current cohort called Fanfare. As you know, you've been all hearing about the buzz around NFTs, crypto, and it's only growing in the world as we speak. And I was particularly interested in Fanfare myself because they're laser focused on music NFTs and essentially have been creating waves out there. Fanfare actually allows musicians to offer their music directly to the audience as NFT. And what makes them unique is that not just they're laser focused, but they're allowing the transfer of exclusive rights of listening to NFT owners. The result has been they've been able to sign up a lot of local artists in the short span of time I've known them and are only adding more as we speak. Fanfare was built by a great team, and essentially both of them are highly committed entrepreneurs. They're young, driven, passionate, always available on weekends and nights to experiment, learn different things, which makes them very unique to me personally. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the Fanfare founder, Jackson Fatty.
Hi, I'm Jackson, co-founder and CEO of Fanfare. Fanfare is a marketplace that enables musicians to capture more value from their content by selling their songs as digital collectible NFTs. Our mission is to give agency back to artists by reimagining how they can monetize their music. So I want to introduce you to one of the first artists to join our platform, Tom Dupree III. He's been a producer for over a decade, signed to major labels like Republics, and cultivated a dedicated fan base across various social media platforms. But despite this, Tom focuses most of his effort on alternative income streams, not his music. And this story is far from uncommon. So why is it so difficult for musicians like Tom to turn their passion into a career? Are people spending less on music? Is there less to go around? Well, actually, people are spending more than ever before, driving music industry revenue to an all-time high of $43 billion a year. But with only 12% of that ending up in the hands of the musicians, it's clear that they need a better way to monetize their music. So this is why we've created Fanfare. It's a marketplace where musicians can turn their music into digital collectibles and then sell them directly to fans. Instead of a 12% trickle down, Tom gets 85% of the proceeds when a sale happens on Fanfare. In fact, through our platform, Tom made more than 6 months worth of streaming revenue from the sale of a single song. And we make this possible using NFTs, which for the first time ever make digital files like MP3s ownable, scarce, and easily verifiable as authentic. Through Fanfare, fans can collect songs online just like they collect vinyls at a record store, but with added exclusive perks like event and community access. Collectors feel happy knowing that the vast majority of their sale goes directly to the musician, and that through the NFT, they're literally investing in that artist's future success. As the artist grows in popularity, so does their NFT, which can then be resold at a higher value. So why now? Well, the world is trending digital at a rapid pace. Companies like Facebook and Microsoft are investing billions of dollars in the metaverse and digital experiences. As new generations continue to live their lives more and more online, digital ownership becomes increasingly valuable. And NFTs have made this possible and profitable for the first time. Their value is already recognized by major players such as the NBA and the NFL, and during their lowest point in the last 3 months, they were still generating $20 million a day on the Ethereum blockchain alone. But this explosive growth is being limited by accessibility. Buying an NFT on Ethereum requires learning a bunch of tools like Coinbase and MetaMask. It's a huge learning curve, and part of the reason why 11 times more people use debit and credit cards compared to cryptocurrencies. From the perspective of the $75 million in revenue generated by NFTs in the past 6 months, this is a $1.6 billion potential market when made available to the average consumer. And Fanfare will be the first music-centric NFT platform crossing this bridge. So we make profits from a 15% fee on initial sale and 5% fee on resale. Going into our full launch and leaving our beta, we'll be increasing our average sale price through launching drops with larger musicians. We'll be investing heavily in the marketing and publicity of these to grow past the 8% week-on-week growth we've averaged in the past 2 months. When factoring in the expanded accessibility that credit card support offers, we project potential revenue of $2.5 million in 2022. So there are 3 markets that we're pursuing here: up-and-coming musicians, established musicians, and collectors. So far, we've excelled at our primary focus of acquiring up-and-coming musicians with a customer acquisition cost of just $7. Going forward, we're switching focus to acquiring partnerships with larger musicians and partnerships with industry insiders. We're in talks with labels such as MDDN and have letters of intent signed with established artists. These musicians not only bring over their fan bases as collectors, but accelerate the word-of-mouth marketing among up-and-coming artists. We'll be investing heavily in growing their collector base and establishing an exclusive following as the first open NFT marketplace offering to a wider audience. Our most direct competitors are open NFT marketplaces like Rocky and Catalog. These platforms exist on the Ethereum and Binance blockchain and face difficulties in accessibility and trading fees. With our focus on ease of use, we'll be the first music marketplace offering these services to a broad audience. This allows us to get in early, forming relationships with artists and labels, as their casual fans will for the first time be able to participate in the NFT collectible experience. The team is myself and my co-founder, Quinn Labrie. We're both technical founders with in-depth experience turning NFT ideas from our consulting clients into multi-million-dollar market cap projects like Block Duelers and NFT Lootbox. We brought in a team of experienced advisors to help in areas of importance, such as Joey Simran, the president of MDDN. He's helping with A&R, and his label manages dozens of artists with a combined hundreds of millions of monthly streams across various platforms. And he also gives us access to his subscriber list of 800,000 under alternative media. Amitt Mehta, the CEO of AKM Enterprises, is helping with operations. He's led AKM to be ranked the #1 entrepreneurial company in the USA, and will be bringing that same expertise to helping us scale. To date, with our current MVP, we've reached 120 unique daily logins and 251 NFT sales, generating 15,000 in revenue. We've been maintaining steady growth in artist interest and increasing week-by-week growth in NFTs sold. We have multiple letters of intent signed with established artists and labels to launch NFTs with us once we leave our beta and launch our main platform. We project these numbers to rise significantly with them on board. Our projections come from an increase in the available market from the ease of access approach that we plan on dominating, as well as heavy spending in A&R. Assuming continued month-by-month growth in our sales, we project potential revenue of $2.5 million this upcoming year. We're seeking $1 million investment to build our beta into a scalable product. This gives us 18 months of runway, enabling us to hit our next 2 milestones. We're less than 2 months away from our next one, our migration to the Flow blockchain, expanding accessibility with credit and debit card payment support. Following that, our 3rd milestone involves rolling out features such as on-platform resale with royalty and heavy investment in artist acquisition. With your investment, we'll take over the music NFT vertical. So thank you. We'd love for you to help join us in enabling artists like Tom to take control of their music sales, and I look forward to speaking with you after the presentations.
Hello, I'm Josh Langenthal, and I'm an investor advisor at the Batchery, as well as one of the managing partners. It's my privilege to introduce you to a founder I have greatly enjoyed working with during this batch, Michael Finnegan from QuantumCamp. QuantumCamp offers interactive online courses in STEM fields for K-12 students and their families. They have the best and easiest way to do authentic lab-based math and science remotely. Michael created the QuantumCamp methodology for teaching STEM materials and operated it as a tutoring company for 10 years until COVID provided the opportunity to transform the company and scale a software version of the product for the wider world. In addition to his background as a teacher and curriculum designer, Michael holds a PhD in materials science from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. He is passionate about giving students the tools, skills, and experiences they need to grow in STEM and related fields. Please join me in welcoming Michael to tell us more about his vision and his company.
Hello. Let me start you off in the year 1913 when something truly revolutionary happened in the world of physics. A Danish scientist, Niels Bohr, came to the conclusion, based on a series of experiments run throughout the 1800s, that electrons inside of atoms don't move smoothly through space like an apple falling from a tree onto your hand. No, they lurch awkwardly and mysteriously from location to location. So with Bohr's new theory, the entire world of physics was blown to pieces, and the new science of quantum physics was born. As both an educator and a scientist, I decided to run an experiment 99 years later with 11 middle school kids in a week-long summer camp. If they conducted these same experiments Bohr knew about to formulate his theory, and if I prompted them with the right questions at the right moments, would they arrive at the same conclusions that Bohr did? Well, on Friday of that week, students were running up to me saying, Michael, does this mean electrons can be here and here, but somehow never here? I just nodded. It was remarkable. They conducted the same experiments, looked at the same data, and landed at the same revolutionary conclusions that Bohr did. Out of the work of these 11 kids, the company of QuantumCamp was born. I am Dr. Michael Finnegan, founder and CEO of QuantumCamp. And for over 10 years, we've been teaching science and math like this to thousands of kids in all venues imaginable, elite schools, high poverty schools, to homeschoolers and kids across the globe. And during this time, we built an unparalleled library of K-12 science and math courses, all with the exact same approach, the exact same pedagogy as the original QuantumCamp. And now we are making it available to the 1.5 billion K-12 students in the world. And here is the problem. Our K-12 education system is broken. It's stuck. Kids are bored. Scores are stagnant. The achievement gap remains stubbornly high. And parents saw this firsthand during the pandemic, and parents are fed up. Homeschooling and microschooling are exploding up threefold in 2 years. And parents want better academic content, but nothing exists. There are no simple-to-use STEM curriculum products on the market that excite kids and match how they learn. And here is our opportunity. We have the content, and we are now leveraging it to build a product which is very different from anything else and which can scale. It is the QuantumCamp education platform. On it, we host science and math courses for kids from kindergarten to 12th grade. And the courses are simple. Kids open up a supply kit. It's like Christmas. Kids receive a cool puzzle or a challenge on video. They set off and conduct a lab to solve the challenge. They build a portfolio of work, and they're pumped and ready for the next challenge. And all the courses place kids in the position of history right before new knowledge was created. Kids are immersed in the real stories of discovery of the great scientists and mathematicians. So, does it work? Well, I've been leading QuantumCamp for 10 years, running amazing in-person programs and serving the most discriminating customer in the world, the homeschooling mom. So we have courses that work. They've been perfected by fire. And right now we have one middle school course up on the platform, and in just 2 months we've generated $20,000 with 45 kids. And they're spending 2 hours per week, 2 times more than the national average, doing science. And the real kicker is we have 25 more of these courses on deck, ready for migration to the platform. And testimonies are already coming in. Helen Lowry says, I like that the material is sparking questions and encouraging my kiddo to set up experiments to explore further. So how big is the market and how do we get into it? Well, out of the gates, we leverage our own network of partners from being in the homeschool world for 10 years to reach the 7 million students now home and microschooling. We are enlisting and engaging with large homeschool networks and our vendors with major independent study charter schools, school entities which reach hundreds of thousands of kids just in California alone. From here, we've worked with many charters and private schools over the years. We know what they need, what their pain points are, who buys curriculum, and how to connect into them. In the meantime, we'll be connecting to and offering trials to teachers in public districts, which will smooth the pathway to get major decision makers to consider the QuantumCamp platform. We've also worked overseas quite a bit in our 10 years in China, the Middle East, Japan, Mexico, and Australia. So we understand how education systems operate around the world. We know where national education systems are going, and we will be there to meet them. In our current market analyses, and more importantly from our knowledge of working in the alternative education space for 10 years, we know buyers, parents, teachers, and superintendents are looking for something that is, one, simple to use, and two, rooted in a hands-on and discovery-based approach. We built QuantumCamp to be in the upper right quadrant. Simple to use, no expertise required, and highly engaging for the student. And the revenue model is very straightforward. We sell a product, customers buy a product. Each short course, you can see 6 listed here, is $75. A full year is $250. We've calculated based on customer service and supply models, a gross margin of 50 to 60%. So here I want to emphasize that we are a company already in motion, operating and building up capacity to expand. I will also point out Simone Plante, a titan in the AI and education sector, and Steve Berg, a visionary in business strategy. Both are very active advisors providing key insight on capital raising, finance, strategy, and partnership development. So this is where we go. By 2030, we are a $500 million global education publishing company providing learners everywhere with discovery-based content in all subjects. You can see we plan to raise a Series A midway through 2023, and during this time and through 2024, we are growing at 200% per year. We are raising $600,000. This gets us 6 courses in the market, a top line of $2 million for the 2022-2023 school year. And from here, as mentioned, we see the $1.5 million Series A propels us to an $18 million top line for 2024. So Franklin Delano Roosevelt presciently said that education is the safeguard of democracy. So let's do this. Let's get the American experiment and the American education system back on track. Join me as we captivate the minds of young people and build a better world. New and positive revolutions in the world of science, math, and beyond await us all. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Dave Nagle and I'm a Batchery investor advisor. I'm so privileged to have the opportunity to introduce you all to Luke Seminar, founder and CEO of Clusiv. Clusiv is an online training platform or education platform targeting the blind. What makes Clusiv really unique is that all of the training is focused on jobs, 21st century jobs and careers. What I didn't know is that the vast majority of blind people in this country are unemployed, and those that do have jobs are underemployed. I think I was the first person at the Batchery to meet Luke, and I was blown away by the guy. I couldn't wait to get other investor advisors in front of him and meet him so we could convince him to get into the program. His story is really compelling, and I'm not going to steal any of his thunder, but what he's consistently demonstrated is the kind of grit and determination required to be a founder. He's pivoted several times in his life, and in each pivot, he's just bootstrapped himself. What I've also noticed about him is that he consistently demonstrates critical leadership traits, like his curiosity, his integrity, compassion, and most of all, his humility. As a person, he's just the warmest, kindest, most gentlest human I've ever met, but I've also noticed that he has the kind of determination and steely stomach that enables him to make tough decisions. Once you've met him and get a look at what he's built, I think you'll feel the same way. So without further ado, here's Luke.
Hello, my name is Lucas Seminer. I'm the CEO and founder of Clusiv. Clusiv is the world's first e-learning platform for blind and visually impaired people. Joining me on the leadership team is Tom Jackson. Tom Jackson is a former Techstars founder. Most recently, prior to his exit and coming to Clusiv full-time, he was a senior analyst and investor at Mercury Fund, the most successful fund in the Midwest. He's done a lot of growth ops and people ops and growth stage companies, primarily under the portfolio of Mercury, and also as a consultant and a fractional COO. Tom was the co-founder and CEO of Locus, which was a Techstars company, and he's a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin. I myself have been a fractional CTO, a software engineer, a former paratrooper within the 82nd Airborne Division, and a Purple Heart recipient from the War on Terror. I as well graduated from the University of Texas at Austin. So as I said earlier, Clusiv is the world's first e-learning and accessible onboarding platform for visually impaired and blind people. We remove the barriers between the modern workforce and the blind population within America and soon globally. I discovered a huge problem working at my first insurance company, an engineering job, I should say. I was a software engineer and I had just come into this company. It was a multinational insurance company, and they came under Title III litigation for ADA noncompliance of their digital assets. What that means is that their digital assets, their applications, and their websites were not accessible to people who use screen readers or otherwise. So they were going to pay a consulting firm $500,000, and it was going to take 3 months. They would have not met the time to cure, and thus they would have also had to pay the consulting firm that egregious sum of money, while also paying out a lawsuit settlement and federal penalties. So I suggested to the CTO that we 1099 my stepdad, who happens to be blind, and I'll sit him next to me. Where he finds a break in the application, I'll implement a fix in the code. They gave me the shot, and within 7 working days, we had mitigated the lawsuit, saving the company millions of dollars in reputational and legal costs. I myself was on cloud 9. I'd been offered a raise, a promotion, and even an office. And for a junior engineer, that's something quite special, right? But that being said, my stepdad was visibly distraught at the end of that. And he turned to me and he said, Luke, I feel intellectually valued for the very first time in my life. And that sucks because it's not going to happen again. And it dawned upon me that, he had lost his sight in his 20s. He's now going on 50. And he had been stuck working in a federally subsidized toilet paper manufacturing plant his entire life, and he would continue to be so. There was no upward mobility or other opportunities. But when I dug deeper and I tried to figure out why, how could I find a problem? How could I solve this problem? Here's what I found. That in general, not in general, statistically, across all 50 states, the state agencies, divisions of blind services, and so forth, have a less than 20% job placement rate, meaning that if you lose your vision and need help re-entering the technical workforce, there's a less than 20% chance that the state will be able to get you there. Put that the other way, there's an 80% chance that you're out of luck. Now, if you are within the 20% that do get placed into jobs, 20% of blind Americans, that is, that get placed into jobs through the government, you will be relegated to menial labor for menial wages. The average salary of the blind American is $27,000. The unemployment rate is 73%. The underemployment rate is 92%. And this is only growing as causes of blindness seem to increase within our society. So how did I go about solving this? Well, I created 2 platforms. One is SkillSet, the first e-learning platform for blind and visually impaired people. We trained to a two-task model using vocational track specific courses. For example, if we want to teach someone how to be a sales development representative for tech sales, they learn the basics of a CRM. They learn the ins and outs and comparative differences between HubSpot and Salesforce. They learn sales psychology. And they, of course, learn the primer courses such as digital meeting platforms, email platforms, and so forth. These are all critical things that we all take for granted as sighted individuals, but things that when you have to use a screen reader are incredibly hard to do. Secondly, what we realized is that in SkillSet, I'm creating a commodity, right? We now have a commodity, a mass of modern workforce capable blind individuals that have never existed prior. And so how do we get them into the modern workforce at scale, right? So we can train at scale, which is brand new, but how do we get the modern workforce to adopt them at scale, which is equally brand new? And we did that through the development of the Inclusive platform. The Inclusive platform helps companies take advantage of the WOTC, the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, which is something 92% of Fortune 500 SaaS companies do not use, meaning they're leaving $2,600 to $8,600 per year per head of veteran, disabled, or many other categories employees that they're hiring. On top of that, the technical enterprise that we put into this is, or expertise, I should say, is that we give these enterprises, SMBs up to enterprises, the ability to hire and train blind people for positions they never could have prior. They do this through our proprietary technology that allows them to train to their specific tech stack. Whatever tools they use, whether they're internal or massively used like Slack, Jira, Gmail, Outlook, Zoom, or any of the other meeting platforms, plus internal tooling, right? So we now have this flywheel where we create the supply of modern workforce capable blind people and a way to onboard them specifically to the companies that need them the most. That being said, the total addressable market comes out to $39 billion. There's a lot of people, and this is a very conservative rating. When we go to the exciting part of this even more so, the obtainable market, is we have 51,000 blind Americans that are currently awaiting technical training that doesn't exist right now. And what does exist is even further unavailable, inaccessible due to COVID concerns. So that being said, that brings us out to a sum of roughly $382.5 million. The inclusive platform, we're targeting the valuable 500, which is a group of 500 companies closely aligned with the Fortune 500 that have a sum ARR of $16 trillion. They've announced recently that their entire purpose for existing and banding together is to hire with a focus on inclusion for those with disabilities. We're targeting state agencies and contractors that hold the existing training contracts to enter the states. Sales cycle there is about wrapped up, and we're making great progress. As far as enterprises go, the top of our funnel right now looks like Salesforce, Dell, Amazon, Comcast, and Verizon. So the top of our funnel is the leaders of the industry, and they're very excited. And a few of those partnerships are going to become public and in the media very shortly. As we go forward here, as you can see, our competition is mainly comprised of nonprofit entities that train for autonomy of life and not so much modern workforce. What we're currently raising is $500,000. We've currently got 220 hard committed in the bank. We now have, that's my time. So thank you all for listening to my pitch today. We're raising another $300,000. We've got a little bit of that soft circled. So thank you for your time and consideration. Have a great day.
Hi all, I'm Akash Jain, a Batchery investor advisor, and I'm here to introduce you to Derek Ziegler and his startup Zelite. In addition to startup investing, I have always been drawn to real estate investing as a great way to deploy capital and realize returns. Zelite has developed a solution I find very interesting to make my life as a real estate investor simpler. In a nutshell, it takes a data-driven approach to simplifying real estate investing by automating property analysis and using its technology to help real estate investors make more informed and potentially lucrative investment decisions. As a founder, Derek brings the focused discipline he learned as an officer in the Army Reserves to the development and execution of his business plan. It is my pleasure to hand off the mic to Derek to tell you more about Zelite.
Hi, so my name is Derek Ziegler, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Zelite. So 90% of the world's millionaires come from real estate investing, and everybody knows that real estate is a great way to actually build wealth. However, 95% of real estate investors fail because real estate is hard. But with a great mentor, you do increase your chances of being successful. I know my mentor helped me with understanding the basics of real estate, and then he taught me how to analyze markets and properties. He also taught me how to understand financing options and helped me understand how to effectively manage and grow my portfolio. But years ago, my mentor gave me the mission of taking everything that he had taught me and teaching that to as many people as possible. So we fast forward to 2020. And after doing a few podcasts, leading some training and seminars about different real estate investing techniques and strategies, I began to wonder, what if we use technology to do exactly what my mentor did for me? What if we provided people with real estate investing education, then gave them the tools to help them analyze properties and grow their portfolio? We could connect them to lenders and other real estate professionals that they needed as well. A tool like this would increase their chance for success and help them build wealth over time. And that's when Zelite was born. So I want to present you with two different families. Michael, who is a single guy who grew up financially illiterate. However, he has learned how to manage his money and now has some disposable income. So he's focused on building wealth and investing in real estate. And his story is similar to mine. Jared and Stephanie are a couple who have small kids, and they already have a portfolio, but it's crucial for them to protect the wealth that they've built and to continue to build more wealth. Now, when we begin to break down why 95% of real estate investors fail, we realize that it is due to the complexity of real estate investing. However, there are a few key challenges that all investors face no matter what stage you're in, and that is outdated or fragmented tools, confusing and time-consuming research, having to analyze properties and compare investment opportunities, and then the lack of access to resources. Now, there is this common phrase within the real estate community that you make your money when you buy, not when you sell, meaning you have to buy right, and that starts with Zelite, a comprehensive one-stop shop solution that empowers anyone wanting to invest in real estate. Zelite is like a genius mentor that leverages technology to provide anybody with the ability to research and analyze properties in order to know whether or not it's a good investment. Zelite will also connect investors with lenders and realtors and other professionals within the real estate space. In order to help our users grow, they'll be able to manage their portfolio performance all through our platform. So when we look at the value that Zelite provides, you can see that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are. We are able to help you get started as an aspiring investor, and we have the tools to help you increase your cash flow and grow your portfolio as an experienced investor. So the real estate software market has seen significant growth over the last couple of years, and it is projected to grow 15.3% over the next 6 years, meaning it will triple in size by 2027. Now, because we are targeting individual investors, it is important to note that 14 million of the 20 million rental properties with 1 to 4 units are owned by individual investors. This means that individual investors account for 72.5% of that market, and they've had an average growth rate over the past 3 years of 10.3%. There is an estimated 35 million individual investors that make up the buy and hold, wholesaling, fix and flip, and short-term rental markets. As we see millennials shifting into investing, more money is being spent on tools and resources to help them make better investing decisions. With Zelite being a real estate platform, there are multiple ways to make revenue. Customer acquisition is our top priority as it drives all revenue streams. With customer acquisition, we are able to generate revenue from subscriptions, partnerships, and monetize our users with third-party vendors and companies that will pay to get in front of real estate investors in order to earn their business. Now, real estate investors look for specific resources, and because of this, we'll be focusing on establishing strategic partnerships with channels that put us in front of them. Social media will be our primary driving force as we build our brand, and this will help us establish a strong referral campaign in order to help accelerate growth. Now, we've analyzed the market and we've had conversations with aspiring, new, and experienced investors on their needs, and it is clear that it falls within these 5 areas. We've identified that there are some solid competitors within our market, but they're only doing 1 or 2 things. Zelite is the first to take the holistic approach, and we've took it upon ourselves to build a tool that met the needs of anyone wanting to invest in real estate while continuing to be differentiated from our competitors. So this amazing company is being built by 2 old college football teammates. I've had success as an executive for Target, leading multiple teams and departments while overseeing military operations as an Army Reserves officer. As a real estate investor, I've scaled my way from single-family homes to large commercial properties using private investors. Now, my co-founder, Brian, has had experience as a developer with Amazon and has had success developing apps for large government agencies and private companies within the DoD sector. We currently have 2 advisors that have had great success in the real estate and entrepreneurship space. Now, we launched our iOS version of Zelite in February of 2021, after successfully implementing the educational features. Since we have grown to approximately 1,000 active users on the platform, primarily through referrals. We are currently developing some of the property analysis tools and market research features within the app, and we will be releasing a major update that will integrate the education, property analysis, and market data all within the app on December the 1st. As I pointed out earlier, we completed phase 1 and are in the middle of phase 2. While we are developing tools, we are getting real-time feedback while growing and expanding with our users. We are on our way to becoming a comprehensive platform that integrates AI in order to help investors make better investment decisions and build wealth. Now, based on product development, we will not make any money until year 2 when we begin customer monetization and user subscription. In year 3, we'll see a major jump in revenue due to AI implementation and an additional subscription tier. So for this round, we're looking to raise $750,000 backed by a safe with a 20% discount at a valuation cap of $5 million. With this money, we'll be able to achieve 5 key milestones that will position us to have all the features of our platform before beginning to add full automation and AI technology. Ultimately, Zelite is on a path of evolving the way real estate investing is done. With our tools and data, we will have the ability to expand Zelite to be more of a real estate investing marketplace where we allow people to analyze properties and connect sellers to buyers. This would ultimately help us to expand our customer base and significantly increase revenue. The other option is acquisition with one of the large real estate companies that are targeting real estate investors or one of the large real estate companies that are buying homes in order to sell to homeowners, because Zelite's technology can help them do that effectively. Again, my name is Derek Ziegler, and thank you for your time.
Greetings all. I'm Marlene Grenon, and today I'm here to introduce you to one of our Batch 13 startups, LiveFreely. LiveFreely was founded by brothers Arthur and Daniel Zhu to solve a problem that many of us have experienced, making sure that our aging loved ones are safe and well cared for. LiveFreely app Buddy aims to solve for issues related to fall prediction, medication adherence, emergency notification, GPS location, among others, using ML and AI. The app also has the ability to alert smartwatch wearers, family members, caregivers, first responders, and emergency service providers of irregularities. As co-founders, Arthur and Daniel bring a relevant technical and leadership background with senior experience in companies like IBM, Oracle, Twilio, and Hyperion. Here to tell you more about their solutions are Daniel and Arthur. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arthur, co-founder and CEO of LiveFreely, and this is my brother Daniel, co-founder and CTO. We're excited to tell you about our journey, which started on Valentine's Day 2009 when my father had a stroke, and it changed our lives overnight. It began 7 years of caregiving for my brother and I, and we felt alone with little control over our circumstances. But we discovered we weren't alone. Over 30% of the U.S. are giving at least 19 hours of care per week to 50 million seniors. Falls are the #1 cause of death among the elderly, and 55% of seniors take the wrong meds or take them late. Our dad took 27 meds at one time, and the spreadsheets were a nightmare. Dad also had dementia and wandered, and 60% of seniors with dementia also wander. Likewise, costs are shifting from hospitals to the home, yet seniors don't like the old push-button tech because it makes them feel old and stigmatized. This $200 billion a year problem caused my brother and I to ask ourselves, isn't there a better way to use our 60-plus years of combined experience in tech to help solve these issues? That's when we developed Buddy, an AI-driven personal health assistant that works with smart wearables. It's our way of helping seniors be and feel like the superheroes that they are to all of us, and enable them to move from reactiveness to proactiveness and taking control of their own aging. Daniel, why don't you give us a little demo of Buddy?
Buddy is a cutting-edge digital health solution that empowers seniors and their caregivers to be proactive in aging. The platform works on smartwatches such as Apple Watch and Fitbit, and an app on a mobile phone. Today, I'm wearing an Apple Watch with my iPhone. Buddy automatically detects, predicts, and prevents falls. Here we go.
Fall has been detected. Please open the Buddy app to call for help.
If a fall is detected, your loved one's watch will give an audio cue and display fall detected, I'm okay or help me. At the same time, an alert is sent to the caregiver and a 5-minute countdown begins. If the alert is not addressed within the 5 minutes, Buddy will automatically connect to 911. Buddy is the first app to provide vital information to first responders in real time. Furthermore, through AI, the system can detect changes in gait and alert you when becoming a fall risk. Then you can get checked out by a health professional. Many times a loved one is prescribed a cane or a walker when they become a fall risk. Through a Bluetooth device on the cane and gamification, Buddy encourages the use of assistive walking devices by providing points that can be converted to gift cards. Buddy also reminds your loved one to take their medication on time. Setting up a medication reminder is as simple as taking a picture of the pill bottle. The system will then read the label and detect the medication. It even checks the FDA database for negative interactions with any other medication entered into the system. Preventing wandering while maintaining independence is an obstacle faced by many, especially those with dementia. Buddy provides location safety alerts to caregivers and allows users to set up multiple boundaries to have freedom of movement while still having peace of mind. If a user's heart rate rises above or drops below a certain threshold, caregivers and emergency services are notified via a code blue alert. One of its most innovative features is detection of irregular health patterns. Buddy uses all the data it collects to create a personalized baseline and measures deviations to alert potential health issues. Back to you, Arthur.
For our product strategy, we aspire to a blue ocean model of disruptive innovation. In red oceans, of course, if you want high value, there's high cost, Or if you want low cost, you get low value. We want to break the cost-value trade-off and give high value at low cost through our differentiators. Our competitive differentiators include things like AI for greater predictiveness, accuracy, and functionality. We've also bundled what currently takes multiple apps to achieve at lower quality with no predictiveness, and we've done it in a way that is high quality, predictive, simple, user-friendly, and stylish for seniors. We're device agnostic. We use non-proprietary wearables and reduce costly call centers by using family members to respond to alerts first. We have two target markets, B2B and B2C. In B2C, we have two segments, the elderly living by themselves and then their families and caregivers. Our B2B target customers include insurance agencies, senior facilities, trade groups, and larger organizational partners. We've had betas with 4,000 users, and we're getting ready for our full launch within weeks. For our launch marketing campaign, we're using radio, TV, print, and earned media, social, and even some celebrity endorsers. We also have some great partnerships coming together. Incidentally, during the pandemic, one of our give back initiatives to become COVID-19 vaccine providers for the vulnerable elderly and underserved populations actually became a perfect entree into the B2B space for us. We've had great reception from the press, and we've been recognized as a thought-leading technology. Perhaps the biggest question we're usually asked is, what's the price going to be? Our pricing studies show we optimize revenue at $49 per month, but we optimize volume at between $10 and $20. For initial launch, we're going to price between $4 and $10 for a limited time to reward our early adopters. Here's our TAM, SAM, and SOM goals, and our burn rate is about $50K per month. We project break even at about 14 months. Our team has tremendous superpowers in technology, the medical sector, finance, and management. I primarily focus on the business side with Andy in ops, Kenton in finance, and Janet in marketing. And Daniel focuses on development with VJ, our engineering VP, Kyle, our bioinformatics data analyst, and Dr. Runge, our chief medical officer. But we all wear multiple hats. Our advisory board includes the co-founder of LinkedIn, emergency services, life sciences, and business experts, as well as former VCs. So we have a sustainable business model, a large growing market, an experienced, cohesive team, and a robust, cost-effective solution that delivers results. We've raised $500K of a $1.2 million round, and our next $500 to $750K will use safes with a 20% discount or $6 million cap, so we can pursue the high demand for partnerships, data digestion, and increased functionality that will accelerate our time to value, credibility, and revenue. It'll kick our speedboat into turbo gear, if you will, accelerating our trajectory as we expand our reach and our product depth. In the middle of our professional lives, my brother and I desperately needed better tools to care for our father that weren't available. There are millions who also need these solutions now so that they and their elderly loved ones can live their lives with the dignity they deserve without breaking them financially or emotionally. That's why we created Buddy. It's among our greatest honors to help seniors age proactively, and we invite you to join us in our quest to bring Buddy to the world today. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peter, the Executive Director at the Batchery, and it's my job today to close our Demo Day program. First off, thanks to our startups and all of our investor advisors who've put in the hard work to make today happen. The live stream is over, but we have a bunch of cool stuff queued up that we're going to tell you about in just a moment. Before that, I want to thank and congratulate our Batch 13 startups. These past 3 months have flown by, but the Batchery community is really proud of how far you have come and what you've accomplished in that short amount of time. Thanks for all your hard work and dedication. I also want to thank all of our investor advisors who've made themselves available to the startups, putting in the hours to help our portfolio mature and succeed. It's a team effort here among all 35 of our investor advisors, but in particular, I also want to thank Lena DeGolnick, Dave Nagle, and David Koehn for leading our core curriculum, and Josh Langenthal, Andre Carothers, and Andy Rutherford for running our weekly roundtables. Thanks also goes to my colleague Meryl Mindo, who makes sure all the trains run on time and is my right-hand person behind the scenes. And a huge thank you goes to you, our attendees. Thanks for coming today. It wouldn't be Demo Day without you. If, after having seen the program today, you are interested in being connected privately with any of our startups, please indicate this on the interest form below this webcast. You can also use this form to let us know if you're interested in becoming part of our community in some way, shape, or form. We are opening our startup rooms now, which is where you're going to find all kinds of information and be able to chat with our startups. From our homepage in Philo, you can click on any room to enter. From there, you can enjoy a Zoom conversation. You can peruse materials like executive summaries, decks, Calendly links, all the good stuff that the startups have stocked there for you to get to know them better and get connected with each of the different startups. Thanks again for coming. We hope you hang out. We'd love to have you meet our founders, and we'd love to say hi. We'll talk to you soon.